Hello everyone. We are going to study supply and demand in chapter 3. This is part 1. In this chapter, we are going to study market. Market is a place buyers and sellers meet and exchange the goods and services. A market structure describes how many buyers and how many sellers in a market. Some of the market has just one seller, some of the market has many sellers. We will also discuss demand, supply, and how to reach market equilibrium. Market equilibrium sometimes changes, and we are going to talk about that too. There are many types of markets out there. In this chapter, we only study competitive market. What is a competitive market? A competitive market has many buyers, many sellers. No one can influence the market price, and goods offered for sale are identical. For example, many years ago, we have a lot of farmers who grow potatoes. So the sellers of potato are many. And many people eat potatoes, so there are many buyers. Because potatoes are potato, they are considered taste about the same, so buyers think that they are the same potato, no matter, big size, small size. And because of that, sellers, due to the competition, they cannot influence the market price. That is, when sellers go to the farmer's market and sell their potatoes, everyone is selling the potatoes at the same price. In case you wonder, besides competitive market, what are the non-competitive markets? Well, we have a monopoly, like the Georgia Power utility company. It is a local monopoly. They are the only sellers of a utility. And oligopoly market, it has a few sellers in the market, like do you use iPhone or do you use Android phone? So those are non-competitive market. Okay, now let's see what is demand. The definition of demand is the amount a buyer is willing and able to buy at all possible prices. So if you are willing to buy a good, it means the good satisfies your wants and needs. That is one condition. And then the next one is the ability to pay for the good. So that is money, right? You have the money, it satisfies your wants and needs, then you'll go ahead and buy it. So that is demand. Okay, we also have another definition. It's called quantity demanded. In economics, quantity demanded means the amount a buyer is willing and able to buy at one price. Okay, so again, willing and able, this is the same as before. The difference is that this time it is at one particular price. The definition of demand is at all possible price. So let's see what is the difference between the two. Let's take a look at a pizza market. So this pizza is a large pizza. In economics, we have something called demand schedule. Demand schedule, in fact, is a table. This table listed different prices of pizza and different quantity demanded of a pizza. It shows the relationship between price and the amount people want to buy, quantity demanded. So for example, inside the table, you can see that if the price happens to be $5, people is going to buy 8 pizzas. So this 8, in fact, is quantity demanded. Quantity demanded. Why? Because it shows us that people are willing and able to buy 8 at $5. The rest of the numbers inside the table, each single one of them, is quantity demanded because each of them is associated with just one single price. For example, if the pizza happens to be $25, people is not going to buy it. So that's why 0 is quantity demanded. Now, what is demand? Demand in this case is the entire table, because the definition of demand says that the amount people are willing and able to pay at all possible prices. So if you take a look at the entire table, it tells us that all of the different quantity at all possible prices. So that's why the entire table is demand. What we observe from the table is a common behavior of buyers. You probably are really familiar with this, right? As the price increase, we buy less. And as the price goes down, we tend to buy more. And this is called the law of demand. In the table, you can see that as the price goes up from $5 all the way to $25, and the quantity demanded, that is the amount that we buy, actually goes lower. So this behavior is called the law of demand. With the information in this table, which is the demand schedule, we can draw a demand curve. So for example, at price of $5, people buy 8, right? $5, people buy 8. So you can go to find $5, the quantity equals to 8. So they should be located in this point here. Get it? Very good. I know that you're very smart. You should be able to complete the rest of them. Find the points, connect the line, and see what the demand curve looks like. Okay? See if you can do it by yourself. Okay, now pause, complete it before you move to the next slide. So, did you get the same demand curve that looks like this? Very good. Yes, so this is what the demand curve looks like. We usually put a label D to indicate that this is the demand curve. Notice that demand curve is downward sloping, it goes down. That is because as the price goes down, people buy more. So the quantity demanded increase. That is why it is a downward sloping curve for the demand curve. This is the end of part 1. I'll see you in part 2.